It is The Riots on RadioU, 8772 RadioU, and at RadioU Official on TikTok and Instagram. We've got a day without Isaiah today.
Oh, he's off today.
He's off today, and he'll be off. He's got a few days off, as we all do, through the holidays here. Okay, just because he's gone doesn't mean we can't do our Friday tradition.
Oh, the box office.
Box office. What did I say we were going to call this last week? I came up with a name.
Let's see.
What can we remember?
The Monday thing is,
box office buzz.
The box office buzz.
Yeah,
or I thought it was like a review or something.
Box office.
Like, isn't the review on Monday and buzz is what it is?
Review, though, that doesn't sound. Yeah, buzz definitely is Friday, right? So what was Monday?
I don't know. You're going to have to look it up.
Box office. It was box office something. All right, we'll think about that. But you know what? We've got until Monday to figure that out. If Isaiah was here, he would know. But all right, this is the box office buzz. This is what's coming out this weekend in theaters and on streaming. And I'm confident that there's something for everybody this weekend. The big release, I would say, as far as movies go, as far as in theaters, I should say, is The Whale.
The Whale? Oh!
Big release.
Finally.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
The Whale is here. That is the new movie starring Brendan Fraser making his big return. Okay, I got to stop saying big. I feel like it's insulting at this point.
That one, they filmed that movie like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's finally going to be in theaters. I wish it was streaming. I would totally watch it.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully one day. Of course, this has, they have Oscar hopes attached to it, at least for Brendan Fraser. I don't know. The movie itself has 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I don't know if that's a Best Picture quality film. But Brendan Fraser getting all, I mean, was he supposed to be like 600 pounds or something like that in the movie? Not all of that is actually him.
It was a bodysuit.
Like, there was a bodysuit, but he did have some weight on him. So that is out this weekend in theaters. The actual description is: an obese and reclusive English teacher tries to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter for one last chance at redemption. And his daughter, I believe, is played by Sadie Sink from Stranger Things, of course. So there's an option for you.
That's possible.
Let's see, what else do we have? I'd say the next biggest release would be on streaming. It's on Netflix. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is out this weekend.
I'm not going to watch that.
You're
but
not?
That was, I mean, the trailer was interesting, but that's totally not my style.
The animation style is not it's not something that I particularly enjoy. However, Guillermo del Toro movies I do enjoy. And then you look at the cast too, and you're talking we have a tie-in. Finn Wolfhard, Stranger Things.
From also Stranger Things.
Ewan McGregor is in it. Tilda Swinton, who's always seems to be in Guillermo del Toro movies.
Can we all think of anything worse than the Pinocchio story? Like, it's just not our favorite.
You don't like it?
No, I don't.
What if I told you it has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Even not more interested now.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to watch that.
You know, I don't know what will convince you.
Now, I am kind of interested in, believe it or not. Do you remember the Night at the Museum movies?
Yeah, I do.
So Disney Plus now has an animated series.
I see that.
Based off of that.
Oh, it's a series.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, what is that? Conmunra Rises Again. I don't know. I remember Night at the Museum and the first one being pretty okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, they made more that were not pretty okay.
That was not as good.
And so it's called Night at the Museum, but it's not like Ben Stiller from the movies is involved, and it's a cartoon. So it's just way different. I mean, I guess you can't really, if you liked Night at the Museum, I guess there's a chance you like this, but also there's a chance it has hardly anything to, like, there's no correlation at all.
It doesn't really mix with it.
But that is out this weekend. Another one that's out on streaming, Apple TV Plus. You can now see Emancipation, which is
the Will Smith
Will Smith's big return after The Slap.
So basically, just know this. It's not a really big streaming weekend or a big theater weekend, because that's all going to be next weekend with the Avatar stuff.
Well, what if I told you this, though? I've got one for you.
What else?
Something from Tiffany's.
They are pushing that hard at me.
Are they?
I get ads for that constantly.
I've not even heard of it until now, but then I see that it's a Hallmarky Christmas movie that's on Amazon Prime.
Well, you have
Video.
to really dissect it. Like, if you've ever watched, sometimes they'll make a movie that's really just one big promotional thing.
Okay.
So it is one big commercial for Tiffany's, the jewelry company.
Oh, that's what it actually. That's the Tiffany's.
That's what it is. So it's one really, really, really big ad in form
Just
of a
in time
movie.
for the holiday.
Yeah,
but I'm sure
is.
it will work really well on. I don't even know. I don't know how that's supposed to work.
Well, if you want
Are
something,
like ladies supposed to watch it with their man, and then they're
and
like,
try to get him
oh,
to
look
get
at that,
yeah.
and look at that, and look at that, and that's like he's going to retain any of that information.
It's just really shockingly one big commercial.
You watch it with your guy, he's going to be looking at his phone, checking on the sports scores the whole time.
But if you watch the night at the museum thing, he might take you to the museum.
The Riot. Radio U.
It is the Riots on Radio U, 8772 Radio U, Radio U Riot on Facebook and YouTube. Nikki, you ever seen a sword swallower?
I mean, probably like on a TV show and stuff.
You never seen one in person?
I don't. I mean, I feel like that'd be at the medieval thing or like the fair.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think I have.
No, I knew a guy who was a sword swallower.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, like that was his profession or his hobby?
Yeah, no, it was I think he made pretty good money doing it. It's not easy to swallow swords.
What's the insurance look like?
Now that is a good
What's
question.
your medical?
Yeah, that feels like it would be a concern, especially when then you see a story like this where well-known San Diegan and sword swallower, of course, Scott Nelson, his sword swallowing name.
Yeah,
because nobody would go, "Hey, come see Scott Nelson." Nobody would care. So his sword swallowing name is Murragun the Mystic.
Oh, that feels very carnival-like.
Right?
Yes, it does.
And the bad news is he was hospitalized because he had a sword swallowing mishap at Six Flags in the D.C. area.
Looks like that's where he was working.
Yeah, I've been to that Six Flags. He had a sword swallowing mishap that left him with a slashed abdominal cavity and a pierced liver.
Now, they're being very sketchy about some of the details because they're like, it wasn't an accident during the Six Flags show.
Okay.
And it almost comes across like Six Flags is making him say that.
Yeah, doesn't it?
But they say it was rather an unrelated health condition, which relates back, though, to sword swallowing. So I don't know what it is.
Whoa, look at all the injuries on him, though.
Oh,
That's
is
not from
bad.
that is not from swallowing a sword.
It looks like he, like underneath his armpit,
Yeah.
he just has a ton of scars.
Like somebody attacked him.
Like he's been stabbed.
Yeah. This is bizarre. I was going into this thinking, oh no, the sword went the wrong way.
No.
But that is not the case.
Dude, what are you doing?
The injuries are from swords.
Yeah.
But it's not from him swallowing them. What are the odds, right?
I don't know.
He's 59 years old. You go through your life as a sword swallower, and maybe you have that thing in the back of your mind of like, well, like one time, maybe this doesn't go so well.
Well,
But you would expect to have a sword go the wrong way one day while you're swallowing, not to just get stabbed or whatever by one.
It's not like if he was swallowing swords, it would go out the side of his body.
No.
So this looks something else. But he says he has several acts, including sword swallowing. So maybe this was something else.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The guy that I knew that was a sword swallower, what do I remember him? I mean, he did other things. One of his cool trick, he would blow up like a balloon, really long.
Oh, I thought you meant his body would. I was like, he would blow up like a balloon.
Mean?
Well, you said he would blow up like a balloon.
No. He would blow up a balloon, and then he would swallow the balloon.
Oh, my gosh.
And swallow, and it's long, right? And then when it got down to his stomach, it would pop.
Whoa.
Yeah.
With the sword or just the stomach?
because of like it's going all the way down his esophagus or whatever and hitting his.
Dude, you could do something else.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't feel like that. Feels like the balloon would not be healthy to ingest.
No.
My mom was very worried about that when I was a child, of me swallowing a balloon. So.
This goes back to the medical, like, health insurance question. But apparently he could not eat for a month and he was out of work.
Yikes.
So he is now doing a GoFundMe, but he says, I can't stop my heart. He says he'll deal with the pain of my act He works with.
Oh, so he's going back to sword swallowing and everything else after he recovers.
You can't leave your love.
No, that's right. Sword swallowing is his life. It's all he knows.
Well, dude,
also,
your body's having problems.
He probably, as a sword swallower, I imagine he has a very similar issue to us in radio, where the skills you've used to garner your career
really don't
translate to anything else whatsoever.
I hear you.
So what else is he supposed to do? He's got a sword swallow.
So he's okay now, but he had to be hospitalized.
Well, hats off to Murragun the Mystic, Scott Nelson.
5 sores, scissored his abdominal cavity, and he pierced the lobe of his liver.
Ouch. Well, speedy recovery to you.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on RadioU.
It is The Riot on RadioU, 8772 RadioU. The holidays are here, and one of the things you got to do for the holidays, or do you? Christmas cards?
Yeah, I stopped doing that a while ago.
You did?
I mean, I'll do one for like family that I see. And so I'll make one, but like I don't mail Christmas cards to people you just casually know. That's long gone.
Yeah. You know, me and my wife, I think this year might be the year we decided to pull the plug on Christmas cards too. You know why? Is because we'd send them out, and I'm not angry at anybody for this, but because I completely understand, but we'd send out a bunch and then we'd get like one.
Oh,
in
sure.
return. And
no one does them.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't really, like, a picture, and then you feel obligated.
A letter of a yearly update.
I never got a letter.
We had one family member who would always do this like 2-page handwritten letter.
Yeah.
And it was 2-page, like handwritten to you. And we don't know them very well. So that means they were making letters for every card that went out.
They were really thinking about you.
This was their moment.
Yeah. Well, I think I've mentioned before how my mom back in the day.
They're also not together anymore, but that's fine.
My mom would write. She would write a letter about our family, an update that she would include in all her Christmas cards.
Yeah.
But it would be like a theme. Like one year it'd be like we were a rock band, and so she was describing our family as a rock band and giving an update. One year it was like it was a sports update. Like Well, it was cute. She had a lot of time on her hands.
Did your family Christmas photo reflect the theme?
I know one time, I think the rock band year did, because we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and they took our picture or whatever. So that year maybe so. I don't know if it always did. But what were we talking about?
Christmas cards.
Christmas cards. Okay, we're not doing them anymore. But here's a fun prank you can pull. That's actually, it's a really fun prank, I think. And it's not hurting anybody. It's going around on TikTok. It is where you send your parents a Christmas card and you make it addressed like it's from somebody, you just make up names.
Oh, so it'd be almost feeling like it's from a friend?
Yeah, and so
they just don't remember?
Then exactly, you're trying to trick your parents into this is somebody that they should know, and they're giving you an update on their whole lives.
Aww.
And your parents don't know who they are because they don't actually exist.
What a weird prank, but it is nice because then maybe they feel like they have more going on for Christmas.
Well, maybe, but I was just thinking it's like payback, right? Because do your parents do this? I feel like most do, where you'll get on the phone with your mom or whatever, and she'll be like, oh, remember Carol from down the street?
Yeah.
She used to attend yoga class with me. She had a stroke the other day. And it's like, I have no idea who Carol is. Why are you telling me this? And that's how parents are. And so this is your way. This is you doing that to them instead of saying one of your friends that they have no idea who it is, you just make somebody up.
Well, you're supposed to. A lot of people are choosing Steve and Janet to be the names.
Yeah. Very generic. You don't want to be too specific because then they'll be like, well, I know I would remember somebody named Henrietta. So, yeah, you can't be too
Steve and Janet,
creative.
those are classic older couple sounding names.
It sounds like your parents would have friends named Steve.
Yeah, you could totally do that. What a cute idea.
Yeah, that's something you can do. And hey, maybe again, this is going on TikTok. Maybe you can even film it and you get a few views and likes and whatnot.
Be a part of the trend.
Who knows?
And if your parents are super sweet and they're so excited, I could see me not telling them.
Oh, you don't want to break it to them?
No, I would just let them think all these friends are coming back out and, talking to them again.
What What if you let this play out? Because you got to give it an address and everything.
Yeah.
But it's not. You can't make it your address. But so you give it like a real address though. Then your parents are like, "Oh, I should write them back," and then they write back to that address. But the address actually goes to somebody.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "I don't know who these people are," and then they become pen pals.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think you could maybe buy into a few P.O. boxes.
It might be illegal to put the wrong return address on something, right?
Listen, you could just really create this massive lie for your parents, but it's sweet.
But in a way, it's a really nice thing.
Yeah, what a good idea.
Yeah, all right. Well, there's an option for you. A sweet prank for Christmas.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
It is The Riot on Radio U, 8772 Radio U, and at Radio U Official on TikTok and Instagram. You've seen a lot of people posting about their Spotify Wrapped lately, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big thing. It's a lot of fun. I know Nene and I both take that very seriously. Listen to a lot of Spotify.
I think Nene takes it more seriously than you.
I think he does.
He actually goes back, and I think he listens to the whole list.
Uh-huh.
And he goes back to like the top, not the top one, but the bottom of the top.
Yeah.
And it's a thing.
He said he likes his number one to be a surprise, even though he probably knows what it is.
He knows what it is,
Well,
sure.
I know pretty much what mine was, too, so it wasn't like I didn't have to drum up any excitement for my own self. But there's Spotify Wrapped. There's a lot of year-end things now that come out that kind of capitalize on that. And you know who else wants to capitalize on like the year-end lists and reports and whatever is McDonald's.
Oh, on what you ordered for the year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever.
I don't know exactly.
That's a great idea.
How to fit
It's probably in the app.
Yeah, I went in the app and I couldn't find it yet, so maybe they just haven't sent it to me or whatever, or maybe it's something that's coming in a few days. But McDonald's has put out what they call their Fannual report
for 2022.
See what they're doing there.
So it goes from January 1st to October 9th for whatever you ordered when you were logged in with your account.
Yeah, so if you are able to get your Fannual report from McDonald's, they will put you into one of 5 different McDonald's fan categories, depending on how much you ordered. You could be a newbie.
Mm-hmm.
You have the McDonald's. That means you have the McDonald's app on your phone,
but you hardly
use it infrequently. Then there's Insider. You order a little more frequently, but more importantly, you order pretty much the same thing every time you open the app.
I think that's me.
You have a routine.
Yeah.
How often do you think? Once a week?
I haven't gone to McDonald's in a while.
Oh.
I went, okay, you ready? I went during the Boo Bucket season.
Oh, that's not that long ago.
Because I wanted a pumpkin Boo Bucket.
Yeah.
Never got it.
You didn't get it?
I got the ghost and the green one, but I didn't get the Boo Bucket.
Dang.
I wanted the pumpkin one.
Yeah.
But yeah, around that time, it'd be my same order of trying to get that bucket.
A Happy Meal every time.
I just usually like
Happy
nuggets.
Meal for Nikki.
Nuggets or a Big Mac.
Then there's Low Key. This is basically a combination. You don't use the app very often, but you do vary up your orders.
Yeah.
Then there's CEO, which means you redeem your McDonald's rewards points a lot, and you get the rewards points and use them for popular menu items. And finally, Carpe All Day.
You're always at McDonald's.
You deserve a sponsorship deal for how much and how often you use the McDonald's app. That feels like
Isaiah.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say it feels like that is a wake-up call, if that's you.
That's a worry.
Which, to be fair, but not that I'm casting judgment on anybody, because that might be me too. I check in at McDonald's
quite a lot,
fairly frequently, and I do use those points.
So if you get your
up.
McDonald's persona, if you share it on Instagram, you could win 250,000 McDonald's reward points and use those then however you would like, which could then turn around next year and get you even more.
They also went ahead, and what I can tell you is that they put out like the report for McDonald's fans in general, where I can find the most popular menu item at McDonald's: French fries.
Yeah.
That's the number one ordered thing, followed by the cheeseburger. That's surprising.
Well,
over the Big
like
Mac, over the double cheeseburger, and then finally, third place, the McChicken.
Ew.
You don't like the McChicken?
Only the nuggets.
My wife gets the McChicken a lot.
Well, then tell her
the
what...
McChicken is so cheap.
Tell her what she's done.
That's the benefit. Yeah, she's helped it. It's third place at McDonald's, surprisingly enough. Well, there you have it, your Fannual report from McDonald's. for some, a harsh look in the mirror.
Telling you you're going too often.
Yes, a difficult reminder.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
It is The Riot on RadioU, 8772-RadioU, and at RadioU official on Instagram. And we can finally rest easy knowing that Pete Davidson is also on Instagram now.
So did he leave or?
Yeah, you don't remember?
No, I don't remember that.
You didn't follow him?
No.
Pete Davidson, it was actually pretty big news at the time because he left Instagram while he was dating Kim Kardashian. And reason being is because he was being harassed quite a bit, with the whole Kanye stuff.
Oh, yeah, because didn't they used to try to fight with each other too on Instagram?
I feel that it was mostly one-sided.
Probably mostly Kanye's side.
Kanye and a lot of his followers and fans would be going after Pete Davidson. So eventually Pete Davidson just said, you know what, I'm out. But now all that has passed and Pete Davidson is back. But he's not alone. Pete Davidson has some new arm candy on his Instagram now. It's Eli Manning.
Why? So this must be a deal.
That's they haven't alluded to that yet, but that is the speculation, right?
If I had to guess, they were doing some sort of show.
There's several posts so far of him and Eli, some are videos and stuff like that, and of them just kind of broing out, doing dude stuff. But the suggestion is that this is probably leading up to maybe a Super Bowl commercial or something like that.
Oh, that's a good thought.
Yeah, because you think Eli Manning and Pete Davidson are really hanging out and just organically posting on Instagram. Let's get real here, people.
I don't think so unless someone's being paid.
Yeah, there's definitely some money involved, probably for both of them.
Yeah, I guess I assumed they were doing some sort of commentary, some sort of show. But you're right, a Super Bowl commercial makes way more
this is
sense.
a big lead up. It's going to be 3 months of them.
That's all right.
Leading up to the Super Bowl commercial. So, but they're getting together. They've posted a few. There's one where they talk about spooning, where
in bed, yeah.
Pete Davidson's talking about spooning, and Eli Manning, he thinks he's talking about actual spoons. That's comedy. That is comedy. But
this is gold.
This is one thing I didn't know about Pete Davidson. Of course, we all know he's a New Yorker, of course, Staten Island. But I didn't know he was such a big New York Giants fan. So I guess that makes sense why he would be in some way involved with Eli Manning. He even has a New York Giants tattoo. So big Giants guy, Pete Davidson is.
Everybody in the comments are like, yeah, this is 100% a brand sort of deal. Yeah. They just don't know what it's for, but it's some sort of stunt for that. But it's still fun.
Yeah, I guess it's fun.
Okay, hang tight. Just a quick question. No offense to anybody. Do people like Eli Manning? Is he a nice guy or?
Yeah, I think
everybody
likes. We all like Eli Manning typically.
Okay.
Eli Manning. That's why I kind of would expect better from him. But then again, it's very clear with the Manning brothers that they are
they have an eye for business.
Exactly. They are ready and willing to sell out to make a few bucks. But Eli Manning, though, he's a likable guy, and I personally prefer if there's Monday Night Football going on and the Manning cast is an option. Him and Peyton are really entertaining together. So
sometimes I can't follow along if someone an older player, if he's still liked or not.
Yeah, Eli Manning, I think he's still got a pretty high.
Good for him.
You call it a Q rating. Yeah. The last question is, how is it possible that Pete Davidson looks both better and worse at the same time?
That's Instagram. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. I don't know how he does
young
that.
But old.
I know.
At the
I don't
same
know
time.
how he does it. But you know what? A polarizing guy he is. And,
so that's their Instagram that they started. Pete_Eli10. And it's for something.
Yeah, it definitely is. Go follow them and be advertised to.
I don't like to follow. I just go and look, but then that's it. You don't need to follow.
Just scroll through. It is.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
It is The Riot on Radio U, 8772 Radio U, at Radio U Official on TikTok and Instagram. We are Isaiah-less today.
Oh, he's off today.
Yeah, I hope he's having a good time.
I hope he's doing nothing. That's the best day off.
You think?
Yeah, that'd be great.
You think, I've asked him before, but do you think he's listening today?
No, probably not. I think
Probably not.
His plan was to watch, he said, all of Thursday Night Football, like the whole thing, and then just sleep in.
Did you hear what happened on Thursday Night Football last night?
No, what was it?
Where you remember Baker Mayfield, right?
Yes, Baker was the...
Oh, yeah, I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Oh, hang on. Was he the Browns guy?
He was on the Browns.
And then he was the quarterback. And then they brought the Deshaun Watson.
I thought you were going to use a word to describe Deshaun Watson.
No.
The massage guy.
The massage guy. I knew. And then the Baker guy went to the Panthers.
Whoa, you're doing good.
It's all in here.
Yeah,
and
it's like you're a sports expert.
Did they let him go, or is he still on the Panthers?
Yeah, they let him go.
They let him go. And I think there was just
There's no chance you know which team he went to after that.
Oh, hang on.
This all happened this week.
I'm not even looking at text messages. Did he go to... Oh, I know it, too, because I saw it. And wasn't it the team that played last night?
It was the team that played last night.
It wasn't.
Mind you, he was cut from the Panthers sometime after their game on Sunday. Or I don't know if they even played on Sunday. But like in the last 4 days, he left the Panthers and got signed with this new team.
Okay, give me the two team options and I can tell you from there.
It was the Raiders and the Rams last night.
He went to the Rams.
He did go to the Rams. And you know what he did last night?
Did he win?
He won. He led a 98-yard game-winning drive.
Good for him. I don't have any ill will towards him. It's great if he does well.
No, yeah, he has a strong
Browns
personality.
People.
Yeah, I think the funny thing is he probably played better in the game last night than Deshaun Watson, his replacement, did in the game against the Texans on Sunday. But then again, Deshaun Watson hadn't played football in like 2 years.
Well, good for the Rams.
Yeah, good for the Rams, good for Baker Mayfield. And that's your football talk for the show. That's all Nikki can recall.
Hey, I think I did pretty good, right?
The Packers are off this week, so I can't ask you about Aaron Rodgers. So.
Listen, when you guys talk, I do pay attention.
Yeah, but
I'm trying
I should
to
have
learn.
quizzed you. I should have asked who the Packers play because I know you wouldn't know.
Who the Packers played?
Who they play this Sunday.
Oh, I don't know future stuff.
No.
It's only once you tell me.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they don't play this week. All right, coming up
Is that
next.
called a bye week?
Yeah, look at you. You could be on ESPN.
Thank you. Amazon is courting me. They would like me to do their Thursday football.
You could be a sideline reporter.
That's right.
Or you could be in the booth. They let ladies do that now, too.
Oh, thank you.
What? No,
I can get out of the kitchen and get into the booth?
No, like typically, and it's typically. No, listen. It's typically, right?
What if I'm barefoot?
No, women when it comes to football, they're normally the sideline reporters, and that's if they're lucky. Maybe they can be host in the studio. But one day, and this day may be coming soon, maybe they'll let a lady like yourself actually do play-by-play for the game.
Well, if you want me...
Maybe Doris Burke one day.
If you want me to, I only work in studios, so...
Oh, okay.
That's my requirement.
All right. Well, I hope you get to do that one day.
They won't hire me because it'll be like, wait, hang on, guys. I know this one.
Yeah, you would take a while if you're actually doing play-by-play.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I know what he just did there. It was... offsides.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh-huh. And then I'd have to go, yes, that's correct.
Hey.
Very well done.
And I'd be like, that thingy.
Yeah, right. You mean the field goal post?
No, I mean the football.
Yeah, that's
I can see the money coming now.
You're going to need a lot of training.
Yeah,
All right.
no, I'm good.
All right. Well, coming up next, we're going to talk about Pete Davidson. It actually relates to football.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
It is The Riot on Radio U, 8772 Radio U, at Radio U Official on TikTok and Instagram. Nikki, Chris is our engineer here at Radio U.
Yes.
When something goes wrong with any of our equipment, the first thing we do is call Chris on the phone. And the first thing anybody who's ever dealt with any like IT professionals or whatever, the first thing, what do they always tell you to do? What does Chris say?
Restart it.
Have you tried restarting? Have you tried
and sometimes that works, but most of the time it's beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Because usually
we try it first.
If we're calling in, we've tried that.
Yeah.
But, I think a lot of people don't. But it is amazing. I was going to say it's actually amazing. I especially think of like with my phone. If my phone's like glitching out or the computer is glitching out, it's amazing how many times just resetting it, just turning it off and on again does actually fix it.
Well,
the problem just goes away.
You don't realize, we're asking these things to be on all the time.
Yep.
To do a lot
Yeah,
and
your
never
phone, for
never
years
get a refresh.
at a time, you want it to never break. It's amazing that's possible. So yeah, we are asking a lot of our devices. And it is pretty.
Phone. We love you.
We appreciate you. You appreciate all that you do, all the hard work you put in, and Chris too. But sometimes I find myself thinking this a lot in life, is that I wish I could hit a reset button in life, where you eventually hit a point every so often where you think, man, I just wish I could kind of I wish there was a reset button for life.
Especially, or even just the day.
Reset the day. Yeah. And, there kind of is. And that comes from God. Jesus wants to come in and give you a new start on life. You've been doing things a certain way. You've been going along, and a lot has been asked of you, I'm sure, just like a lot of has been asked of our phones and computers and everything. And sometimes you just need a break. You just need to start over and do things a little differently. And God is offering that to you. Jesus is ready to take some of that burden off of you and take it onto Him. If you're going through a lot, if you want to restart, if things just aren't going quite the way you want them to, and you're like, man, I just want to hit the reset button, God will help you hit the reset button. Start talking to Him. Say, hey, Jesus, I need some help here. I need a reset. Whatever that means, I need you to show me what that means and how to be able to access that. And God will. And
sometimes I know this is weird, but our phone is our only really example of this. But you're like, you don't want to restart your phone.
Yes.
You don't want to.
You're like, no,
why?
I need to do this right now. You're so right.
But then
even though, what does it take? Like 15 seconds to restart?
But it is so annoying. You're like, I don't want to. Yeah. But then afterwards,
why should I have to restart it?
You feel so much better because then it starts to work.
You are so right. And that is so accurate to this as well. Maybe you're putting it off. You're like, nah, why should I have to? But no, it's important. Say, hey, God, I want to restart. I want to refresh. Unplug me and plug me back in. I need some help here. And Jesus will do that for you. If you want to know more, RadioU.com/free gift is a good place for you to start.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
It is The Riot on Radio U, 8772 Radio U. Coming up on the Radio U Riot Facebook page and a YouTube channel this Thursday night is our Riot Christmas party.
Which you guys are all invited to hang out. It's something you can watch as we host.
This is the only party we attend, usually.
It's the only party we throw and that we attend.
Sure. That is for sure. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. And, of course, you can go find the Radio U Riot Facebook page and YouTube channel. Watch all the videos that you might have missed lately, and then you'll be prepared by ringing that notification bell and everything so you don't miss when we do our next food fight and then the Christmas party.
Just go to the events. You'll see our Christmas party there. Just say, I'm interested.
Yeah.
And then that way it'll remind you.
Perfect. And during the Christmas party, one of the things we're going to do, Christmas cookie decorating competition.
Now, okay, we're not allowed to decorate the cookies in the studio.
Because it'll be too messy?
Yes, we can't with our equipment.
We don't want sprinkles everywhere.
No, and nor does our Chris. Chris doesn't. They don't want to clean up. So basically, we have to come into the event with our cookies decorated, and then you guys will help us get to vote, including the next morning during the show, on who did the best job with their cookies.
Now, talking of Christmas cookies, did you leave cookies out for Santa when you were a child?
I used to always do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you ever think about Santa eating all those cookies? You weren't the only home that put out those cookies. It's a lot of houses, a lot of cookies to eat.
You haven't watched Violent Night, the new movie?
No, why?
It gets covered, all the cookies that he eats and what he drinks.
They explain it?
Well, it's just very obvious. You're like, wow, how's he doing all that?
Well, in Violent Night, he probably burns off all the cookie calories
when he fights
by beating up people. Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, that with the drink.
Poor
Poor Santa. You're worried about about his health.
I guess I am, especially after I have here a company called Kuru Footwear that went ahead and calculated how many calories is Santa actually ingesting on Christmas Eve when he's going all around the world and eating cookies and drinking milk at every single household.
How much would that be?
How much is he actually ingesting there? Well, this is how they calculate it. They say 1 cup of 1% milk per house.
Yeah.
That's 102 calories.
Yeah, because Santa in the movie covers how he doesn't like skim.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah. Santa, you know what? You're
not getting whole milk.
No, definitely not.
Who can afford whole milk?
So 78 calories per 1 chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, gosh, that's a lot.
Is how they calculated it. And then they also wanted to find out how much the reindeer are each eating.
Well, I'm also worried, too, because
1 carrot per reindeer, that's 52 calories.
Because we're not putting usually chocolate chip cookies out. Usually you're putting, like, sugar cookies out.
Well, the other thing, too, is you're not just putting out 1 cookie. And I don't know about how things went with Santa at your house, but Santa didn't very often leave any cookies on the plate. So he's eating, who knows, 4 or 5 cookies at some houses, maybe even more, and chugging that whole thing of milk. So even if you were just to suggest that he ate 1 chocolate chip cookie and drank 1 glass of milk, 1% milk per house, that equals out to, in total, 30.9 billion calories of cookies, 40.4 billion calories of milk.
Added together.
Every year, 71.2 billion calories Santa's taking in.
Oh, no, you can work that off. That's fine.
You know what? I like that you brought that up because...
Oh, he's not even walking around a whole lot, too, his reindeer.
The reindeer are pulling him around. But if he was to walk off all those calories, you know how many miles he would have to walk?
1 billion?
5. Why can't I ever say numbers?
These are big numbers.
They are big.
Normally, I don't understand why it's so hard for us to do numbers, but these are actually big ones.
Santa would have to walk to burn off all of the calories that he ingests just on Christmas Eve from cookies and milk. He would have to walk 503 million miles.
Oh, it's fine.
And you're like, what does that really mean, though? That is, for comparison, he would have to walk around the Earth at its equator, the biggest part of the Earth. He would have to walk around the Earth about 20,000 times.
What else after Christmas do you have to do?
He's got a whole year, but he'd have to go the whole rest of the year without eating and only walking.
They say you would gain, at that point, 20.4 million pounds on Christmas Eve.
That's the real Christmas.
But imagine, I don't know, the calories. You'd blow up at that point.
Yeah. How does he, and we never even talk about Santa bathroom breaks because you're drinking all of that milk, eating all those cookies. It's not going to be pretty, I can't imagine.
Well, just know that it's Christmas cookies, and we all know that at Christmas time, Christmas cookies don't count.
That's right. Those calories, it's Christmas magic.
It doesn't happen.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
It is the riot on RadioU, 8772 RadioU, at RadioU official on TikTok and Instagram. You a big Jackie Chan fan?
I've seen a couple of things with him, but
he has some good movies, right?
Does he still do movies?
He's done a lot of movies. He does still do movies. He's been doing, if you go all the way back to when he got started, he's been doing movie stuff for almost 60 years.
Wow.
And he's 68 years old now, still going strong. In fact, the reason I bring him up is, there's 2 reasons why he's in the news. One, I believe he's getting an honorary Oscar.
Ooh.
Or maybe he just got one. But 2, he was doing a Q&A at a film festival in Saudi Arabia. And one of the things that he talked about at this film festival was that Rush Hour 4 is in the works. Do you remember the Rush Hour movies?
Well, Rush Hour, I remember a few years ago became popular, just as a trend.
Okay.
And I think I watched the 3 of them.
Yeah.
But I only remember the first one the most.
The first one.
Because I remember that when I was younger.
The first one was really good. I have a special place in my heart for the first 2 Rush Hour movies because those were some of the first movies when you go from watching kid stuff to watching
like
more
grown-up
grown-up
stuff,
things.
yeah.
And Rush Hour is like my first movie that was like a favorite movie.
More grown-up humor.
As a grown-up. And Jackie Chan is great in that movie. Of course, Chris Tucker is as well.
That's the guy. I thought he was always funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's done too much after.
Yes, he has not done much either. But it's now that Rush Hour 4 is in the works, sounds like, you couldn't do Rush Hour without Chris Tucker.
Of course.
And so Rush Hour 4, according to Jackie Chan, they are in talks to make that happen right now. So for Rush Hour, they went ahead. They did 2 back in the day that were, what was that? That maybe 90s, but probably early 2000s that were fairly popular. A third one that was pretty good. And then they tried to do a TV show. Do you remember that?
I don't. Was that with them or with just two other guys? No, it was without
them. No, it's 2 other guys, and that did not go very well.
Rush Hour TV show.
Yeah.
Feels like a Fox thing. Or
I think it was CBS.
CBS?
Yeah.
It'd be like Rush Hour Vegas.
Yeah, that's right. But the problem was no Jackie Chan, no Chris Tucker.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
Same. Not the same. So
what are you talking about? That ran from March 31st to August 20th.
Wow.
Of the same year.
Wow. It did, so close. Yeah. It was almost a hit.
Well, that's cool. I definitely remember it. I just remember it being actually funny.
Yeah.
Which doesn't always happen in the buddy comedy sort of things. But that's cool. Yeah, they're doing a 4th one.
Well, it was a different time, too, where they used to focus on making, it was an action movie, but it was definitely meant to be a comedy where they don't make, more movies now are action movies, and maybe they'll have a little bit of comedy, but that's not what this was. Also, it was interesting, Jackie Chan was talking about why he's had such a long career and so much success with it, and he says because he has so much control, it's important for him to have so much control over
what he makes?
Yeah, from making action stuff, from the writing to the filming of it and whatever, that fits his style.
Yeah.
Where other action movie stars are just thrown into movies. It's like, oh, you're an action star, do action stuff. We wrote this action movie, and now you do it. Where Jackie Chan's like, no, we've got to make this movie to fit me, not I have to fit the action movie.
Well, also, the more involved an actor is in the movie, the more they'll make. It's like the equivalent of our bands when they actually write their songs. You make money if you're the one who writes the music.
Yeah.
You don't make it if you're just performing it.
Yep.
You have to have the writing stuff.
The more credits that you have to your name.
Credits equals the money.
Yeah, equals the money. So, no, I'm a big Jackie Chan fan. I hope Rush Hour 4 doesn't take too long to get here, although it sounds like it's still pretty early in the process.
The Riot, Radio U.
It is The Riot on Radio U. The question is, what is the most annoying sound you could hear in everyday life? You can text in at 8772 Radio U. I've got what the answer is according to science, but I just want to hear opinions.
A few options.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin texted in and said alarm clocks, which I responded back. That's a necessary evil, though.
Yeah.
You hate the noise, but it's needed.
But the thing is, with alarm clocks, do you do this? I used to have, I went through for a while, I would have the same song for my alarm clock, and then I'd get tired of that one, and I'd switch it. And then I realized that whatever song I set as my alarm clock, I would grow, even though obviously the song that I choose would be a song I like, but then I would grow to hate the song.
Yeah.
So whatever sound is waking you up, that's why I switched it so that I always wake up to the radio, because that's something different every time.
Oh, I was going to say, don't hate us.
No, but since it's always something different, I can't grow to hate one single song.
Sure. If not, you hate whatever tone that you pick.
Yeah, that's right.
Ashton sent in all caps, so I think this is a really big annoyance. Pen clicking.
Oh, you don't like this?
I don't really like anything that's repetitive. I think
just once you hear something over and over again.
That's, I think, what really drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Are you clicking your pen over there?
Yeah, you couldn't hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
I don't want to bother Ashton. So.
I blocked you out. Ashton's not even paying attention to you anymore.
Yeah, right. I don't want to make Ashton tune out.
Aaron said for the most annoying noise, small children screaming like velociraptors, especially in public spaces.
You mean like A Christmas Story?
Yeah, like that.
Jason has a good one.
Jason says, my sister gets outright furious when she hears people crunching ice. That is
don't
a
come
bad
to the
one.
Radio U studios because
that happens.
some people have a thing for doing that. The actual most annoying sound, according to science, is hearing your neighbors or people above you, hearing their footsteps stomping. Yeah. Well, think about how bothersome that really is, though. Especially if it's like super loud, like if they're stomping, like footsteps is one thing.
Yeah.
But then again, you're talking about repetitive. If you're like they say that there's more concern around it now with so many people working from home where you're spending even more time at home. And so you're even more likely to hear just day in, day out, the people above you walking around all the time. And just that constant sound, that'll drive you crazy,
No,
right?
see, there's a fix for that. You just always pick an apartment that's on the floor above.
Well,
you're the one making noise.
I love your fantasy world where you just get to pick which apartment you're in.
You would never want to be on the bottom floor.
No, you definitely don't.
That's a security issue.
Yeah, that's true. My apartment, it's a duplex. It's a side by side. And it amazes me that I can never hear my neighbors talking. Sometimes I think they're not able to talk. But I can hear them. The only thing I'll ever hear is like quick footsteps. So I think they must have kids.
Sure.
Because why would like adults be running back and forth? That's the only sound I ever can hear.
You mean the little velociraptors?
Yeah, the little velociraptors running back and forth. But this is according to some research from Canada, the National Research Council of Canada, where they conducted some research to find out like what sounds are the most annoying. And they say that either like your neighbors dropping something above you and hitting the ground, or particularly them stomping, those impact sounds
is what
is really annoying. And because it really wears on you, they actually think that it can contribute to developing heart disease if you're exposed to that for a
because
really
you get so
long time.
anxious.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like Eric's, his and his roommate, when they had a place.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like the townhouse apartments where there's like a stair. I think it was like paper thin, the walls.
Yeah.
Because they could be whispering next door and you could totally hear them.
Yep.
And it's just, poorly built.
Yeah. I remember, I'll tell you what doesn't bother me too much is when your neighbors have like loudspeakers and you can hear them, like you can hear whatever they're watching. You just feel the bass and I'm like, oh, you must be having fun over there.
Did you not invite me to your party?
Yeah. What movie is that? Can I come over and see too?
Well, Angela says it's a small world after all. So I think you mean that music from the ride.
Yeah, for the ride.
And Jessica says audio feedback, like plugging in something wrong or a squeaky clarinet playing.
Oh, the recorder.
Can you imagine if that's your neighbor? They play the clarinet.
Oh, no. What if your neighbor has kids and they're running around screaming and playing the recorder?
You need to move at that point.
Yeah, you definitely do. Or here was my alternative. Turn up RadioU really loud.
Yeah, they'll just cover it all.
Yeah, then you're good to go. Well, now we know, according to science and all these suggestions, that there's a lot of annoying sounds in the world.
There's plenty.
Yeah.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on RadioU.
It is The Riot on RadioU, 8772 RadioU, at RadioU Official on TikTok and Instagram. Nikki, you love Bing Crosby, don't you?
Isn't he an older actor, singer person?
Yeah, he's in your favorite Christmas movie.
White Christmas?
Uh-huh. Nikki, who doesn't like anything old.
Well,
loves Bing Crosby and White Christmas.
No, hang on. I just happen to like White Christmas. I
The
don't
song?
know if I don't even know if I particularly like any of the people that are in White Christmas. It's just some Christmas movie that I really enjoy.
Yeah, well, Bing Crosby.
But I couldn't tell you who else is in the movie.
Neither could I. Bing Crosby, not just known for singing White Christmas, he sang a lot of songs, actually. He's a big singer back in the day. And one of his worst is Mele Kalikimaka. You know that one?
I do.
It's in Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Mele Kalikimaka.
Oh, is that his version?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think he was the first person to do that song.
Is it so? It's his original?
Well, he didn't write it.
I know.
But yeah, he. I bet you he didn't speak Hawaiian. Do you think?
I don't think
Something
so.
tells me Bing Crosby did not speak Hawaiian. But that song is now being called into question a little bit all these years later because Mele Kalikimaka evidently in Hawaiian is actually like gibberish. It's not actually a real
Hang on,
word.
According to this song, that's the Hawaiian way.
That's the Hawaiian way.
To say Merry Christmas.
Well, that's what Bing Crosby would think, right?
So that's a lie?
He flew over to Hawaii, is like, Mele Kalikimaka, and then and they didn't beat him up. So he's like, this must mean Merry Christmas. No, it's not exactly what happened. But some scholars from Hawaii are calling it into question. They're saying, like, the thing is, of course, Christmas was not celebrated in Hawaii until like almost the 1900s, basically. So there is, but obviously the Hawaiian language goes back much further than that.
Yeah.
So there is no word that directly translates to Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas in Hawaiian, in the Hawaiian language. So the person who wrote the song kind of just made it up and tried to match up, like what would Christmas be if it wasn't a Hawaiian word, and tried to make it up, but it's still a word that it doesn't actually mean anything the way the person wrote it. And so they're saying basically it's some, the
So is it totally a lie?
On the extreme would say that it's offensive and, like cultural appropriation. And then some people would just say, it's just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't actually mean anything, which, I mean, you don't have to be a Hawaiian scholar to know that it's a stupid song.
Well, okay, but they're not calling that part into question. They're just calling.
No, everybody agrees on that.
No, I mean, they're just really trying to fill out what does Melikaliki Maka word.
Yeah.
So they say the phrase appeared in print in a Hawaiian language newspaper in 1904, but it's not really, again, it's not an exact translation, and it's not really. So a lot of people in Hawaii feel like that is based on like the mainland's version of what they think a Hawaiian Christmas is.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's kind of offensive.
Yeah. Well, this one, this feels like a Christmas song that'd be easy to leave behind, right?
Well, I don't think we really grabbed onto it too much.
I don't know. Actually, I remember it's not this Christmas, but it was a couple Christmases ago. I heard Melikaliki Maka on the radio driving around with people multiple times by Thanksgiving. And that was when I was like, we're turning the radio off.
Sure.
Once is fool me once, shame on me. Fool me. I always get that wrong.
Fool me once.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah, fool me
twice, shame on me.
And fool
Melikaliki Maka at me twice, and that's it.
So it's gibberish, and they say the two syllables in Christmas became 5 for the Kelikaliki Maka part. But yeah, basically, if you're going to Hawaii, don't say it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's not what you think it is.
It's not.
Yeah.
But there isn't really an equivalent in the Hawaiian language, though, to say Merry Christmas.
You can probably just say Merry Christmas. I think they'll get that.
They'll understand.
Yeah, the Hawaiians will understand.
Thanks for watching The Worst of the Riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more Riot.